Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube. This is ExperiencePoints, and we are back continuing our central campaign branch of the Black Turn, which is a DLC for Unity of Command. This is Operation Barbarossa, which is the actual operation that the Axis forces had. So here we are taking on Smolensk, and this should be delightfully easier than the Army Group Center mission. So let's get to it, and let's have a look here. So there's Minsk from the previous mission in this branch, and let's just have a look. So quite a big mission here, but we'll break it down by just having a look here. Point to know, you have one power here in this mission to rebuild a bridge. You don't have to do this in the first turn. You can do this in whatever turn you wish it in. That bridge power only ever used here. You need this road to be supplied to get this objective. It's impossible without it. Yeah, absolutely impossible. So, other point to note is that you have a supply here, which is a 8, and they're the only ones we have to safeguard, which will be this road. And also important to note, this is in 876, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Important to understand that, because this is an area that we're definitely going to be utilizing to attack. Other important thing to note is our objectives. So if we just have a look here. Oh, sorry about that. Our objectives, we have a 2, we have a 4, and 3 5s. So, let's show you how it's done. This unit here, very important, Pioneers, means you can de-entrench or remove his entrenchment and attack across the river without penalty, and that's what you want to do. I attacked in this order because I was able to do significant amount of damage. If I could have destroyed this unit, I would have loved to, because I wanted to build my bridge on the first turn, and you can't do that while an enemy, even a fully suppressed enemy, occupies this. Over here, you need to be careful with when you attack. Don't attack just for the point of it. You need to attack very, very specifically, so that you can do maximum damage. Otherwise, you're going to lose strength here. So over here, I'm going to try to breach up through this way, but mostly come through here, as well as through the south of the river. You get a lot of reinforcements in turn 2, but I want to make sure that the enemy can't reinforce this point, so capturing up to here is important. And from here I'm just clearing out units that I can, bringing my motorized, which aren't as effective because of their limited movement. I'm therefore going to engage these units down here and clear them out, so my supply lines are secure. Now we're just trying to use overrun, because our armored units will have quite a large amount of success at overrunning, so we definitely want to make sure we can capitalize on that. Grabbing this point here is important because we want to come across the river almost immediately, and we want to do a significant amount of damage and really start to clear out our path. So bringing my armor up, I'm not wasting with attacks. These units can clean up down here, but ultimately they're not that important. What matters most is the supply line up here. Okay, so I got 3 suppression on that. Unfortunately I couldn't kill it because of the zone of control on this one, so it was a bit of a waste in that regard. It was a good outcome, but not the best. Okay, so the enemy's going to pull back. If they get entrenched in here, it's annoying, but you can come up on this south line here. You may actually remember this mission when you're doing the Soviets, how you start up here and sort of making your way back through, and you also have forces down here on this river. So it's nice to really play both sides of this in that regard. It's just a shame that the AI can't actually have missions where you need to defend targets, because the AI isn't smart enough to be able to create breakthroughs in that sort of situation. But it is certainly enjoyable having 2 different perspectives on each of these maps, which make the campaigns very enjoyable in that regard. So yeah, I absolutely suggest the DLC, and there are sales where it's up to like 75% off, so the Steam sales are really good at doing that. So as you see, I removed the engineer specialist step. You can't do that if you attack or move with the engineer. I did that because some of these units take this unit for example, it's way more potent having an engineer specialist step attached to it. So absolutely do that once you've done that single use, which is build a bridge here. And definitely make sure you build that bridge because you'll extend your supply in the turn after. Okay, so now we're making our way. We have turn 2, so we need to start to clear out some units. I'm just going to use my overrun there and get my armor nice and close because we're going to dislodge that unit in this turn, which we have to. Airstrike did nothing, number 1. Number 2, 3 suppression, which is a rather splendid result, and we destroyed it, moving our units in. We have reinforcements with infantry. You do need to dedicate some of your units up to this objective. It is harder than it might be perceived, and infantry alone cannot take it in time. So I would encourage to have some units. If you can do it with motorized, that's good. You might need a panzer unit. If you do have a panzer unit up here, he will be useless for the rest of the battle though. Even to reorganize him, that won't be that effective. So here I'm trying to bring again units from the back. I'll use infantry to clean up these and just my German motorized. But want to push your panzer units along the line. You want to clear out these guys and have these guys up here clear out these people. But your real objective, or say these two objectives, your units up here will come through and smash here. But really, you need to split your forces off and have a considerable number of them come down here. As you see there, the pioneers, or the engineer support, they're called pioneers in the DLC, but they're called engineers in the Stalingrad campaign. Very effective there. Being able to clear that out, get the overrun step across, and then attack. A lot more effective than attacking across the river. So, what are we doing here? Well, we're trying to make our way down this way. We're going to use our infantry mostly just to keep these guys in check, but not much more. You'll get overruns. If you get a chance to get an overrun like 100%, even with 100% sometimes, you still actually don't get an overrun, which is mathematically improbable if something is 100% and it doesn't actually give you the thing that it says it's going to give you, because it's not. The probability is 1. It's like 100%. A probability of 1 in mathematics means that it is actually going to happen. So yeah, like a probability example of 0.5 is 50%. But anyway, that's from like year 11 maths. So overruns are great because they can help clear out. Infantry is streaming up, but again they won't have the punch to be able to take this on their own. So I dedicated probably more than I should have, but I still got the brilliant victory, so I'm letting the end justify the means in that one. Units will go out of supply over here. As you see, if you need to make sure you've linked everything up there, otherwise you'll be struggling later on. And your supply from this point doesn't carry over very well. So we're going to use this unit to probably clear out these guys here. So now he's making our progressive way. We definitely want to have a very, very felt presence in the south of the river, because that's what's going to matter. And if we keep all the units between us and the river, we can do considerable amount of damage. And I streamed it up there so they couldn't bring units across the river to reinforce this objective. You can use the river to keep your northern flank protected, as well as your eastern flank by the forest here. It's really quite effective there. I had no choice there but to attack with a forward unit, but then definitely moving up so that the zone of control from this guy in the south point was in my control and negated. Okay, getting rid of him and bringing in my armor. I'd like to point out here that supply would be considerable still, so you don't necessarily need to take these straight away, but it still is a beneficial thing. You don't want to be cut off. There we go, giving him the specialist step, so he's going to severely pack a punch for this poor unit with a 3 defense compared to my 9 and 12 attack. So yes, overwhelming blitzkrieg victory here. I'm not sure how much gameplay is imitating real life here. For example, does brilliant victory, or a brilliant victory, reflect the true nature of history?
did the German forces actually take these objectives in brilliant victory terms, or were they just in victory terms, or in wins? Like, I would be interested to actually know that, because some of the times I can win this game, but I feel like I'd lose the war because I won with a desupplied unit, a completely suppressed unit, I should say, or because the other unit routed. Sometimes units routing are the only way you can really get objectives in time. All the best planning might not be enough. So we took that objective. Was it a turn early there? But yeah, it's. I had to commit a lot of panzer units. So I only genuinely then needed one panzer unit, one motorized infantry, and an infantryman. So I could have put this guy to the south. He probably would have been able to clear out these units. But at least we can resupply them, though these units are now completely useless because they can't engage anyone in one turn. Okay, throw on my infantry at them there, over here, and then over here. Don't want to risk it, just get straight to the objective. If I had to overrun, I would have attacked it afterwards. Everything's in supply, so I don't need to worry. I can move them up, have my supply lines completely cut off next turn, and still be able to win this. So now I'm just going for it, not caring so much about supply, just making sure I can get close to the objective as possible, and really have my guys in a convoy. There we go, nice attack, removed his entrenchment, and suffered no damage there, even though he had a 45mm M42. Looks like anti-armor weapon there. So just bringing infantry across, they may be able to at least negate zones of control for over here, but unlikely they'll be able to do much more. I didn't attack this unit because it would have been annihilated. So what we're trying to do over here, we're trying to have this road clear so we can get our units as close as we can upwards. But as you see, my units in the south of the river, getting tongue-tied there, should definitely be directed towards this objective. It is the much harder directive to get. Over here, being out of supply doesn't greatly matter, except for this poor unit, but then again, he will be supplied anyway. As we can tell, 8, 7, 6, 5, yeah. No worries. I mean, even these guys on the front line are fully supplied, because a river counts as a road. Or sorry, a bridge counts as a road, which is really nice. So yeah, supply is not an issue. We are going to annihilate. Now I do find it funny that that said it was out of supply when it obviously wasn't. Okay, these movements to the back are mostly a clean up for my own entertainment value as opposed to anything else. Same with these reinforcements. I like to keep a clean battlefield. You know, let's keep it clean. And these movements here again. See how far we can get into Soviet country. Okay, so we're attacking with our heavy units. We can attack, we can move out, but he retreated. Even if he didn't, I still would have had 3 or 4 more shots attacking him. Then we're just making our last attempt to this objective using our air suppression because he's a relatively difficult target, or more difficult than perhaps the infantry. Although maybe not really. I felt very confident down here, so I dedicate my forces up here. So, just to quickly recap. As we do, this infantry unit that came from up here, as you see, comes down here, removes entrenchment, bring this unit across, attacks this unit, hopefully destroy it, bring this unit up, attack him, rebuild the bridge here. Whew, which is important for supply. Then these units come across here, but you'll need, again, I had one Panzer and one German motorized to come up to attack this unit, which turn 5, we got it in turn 4. You make progress with several units on this side of the river over here, but then try to sort of spearhead through here. Other units you want to take here, perhaps with this unit, and then make your way down through here. Taking this isn't as important. As you see, supply lines are quite secure, but then again, clearing this out will give you peace of mind. Have a considerable number of troops, and I'm thinking you'll probably want all these troops in the south, which is 3 armoured units and at least 3 or 4 German motorized to come through here. From there, these southern units south of the river, we use the river as a flank, this to protect the eastern approach, and just make their way down to this objective. These units over here can come through here, just capture this, take this, and if there are any units spare once you've completed this objective, you can attack here. Any units up here that take this will just help clear out this area, more than likely, and maybe help engage in this attack over here. But yeah, after that, disband, sorry, not disband, just organize your specialist step, put it on some armor. Sometimes it's best to do that at the start, but generally specialist steps have a very important reason, and they're done there by the designer of the game for a gameplay purpose. That's why I don't remove all specialist steps in the first turn and do it the way I think it should be done, because that's not always going to be successful. Beyond that, use these back units to keep your supply line secure. Even though you can be able to supply for one turn to attack, it's still important that you have secure supply lines by turn 3. Well, this has been Experience Points. I hope you gained some experience from watching this. This map is actually rather fun compared to the first 3 missions with the armor group north, south, and center. This one is quite enjoyable. So happy hunting, and I hope you achieve your own brilliant victories. Have a good one.